lights to my crushed glass Christmas trees has been a little bit of a hit and miss process for me, but I finally found a way that works really well and keeps them secured. So once I have cleaned and sanded smooth the piece of wood that I'm going to use for my Christmas tree, I'm going to attach a thin piece of wood at the top to act as a spacer bar, and I'm just using wood screws. Now the wood that I'm using in this project is the wood that I like to use with a lot of my crushed glass Christmas trees, and these are just reclaimed fence pickets. Next, I'm going to drill holes into my wood so that I can poke my lights through. And I actually made a jig. I just have one piece of wood that I've made as a jig, and that's helping me line up the holes correctly on each piece of wood, and they're nice and even. And now I can just poke the bulbs through the hole so that they're flush with the top. And this kind of looks like the old telephone company switchboard ladies we used to have back in the day, way before my time. And then I'm hot gluing the battery pack to the bottom. And so now you can kind of see why I've added that piece of wood at the top, because it forms kind of a cavity and allows the wires to sit evenly without them getting all bunched up. And I do like to cover the back and cover the wire. It protects a little bit better. I'm just using really thick scrapbook paper in a Christmas print, and that just helps to cover the wires and hides the ugly a little bit better. Then I'm just taking my hot glue gun and sealing the holes. That way we don't have resin dripping all over everywhere and making a great big mess. And I forgot to seal the wood with Mod Podge first. And the reason I do this is it seals the wood just in case any of the resin drips down on a blank piece of the wood. It doesn't darken the wood and it just looks kind of messy. So the Mod Podge protects the wood from the resin. And the nice thing about the Mod Podge is it dries pretty quickly, so I'm not going to wait for it to dry. I'm going to go ahead and put my glass on, and by the time I'm done adding the glass to the very last tree, the Mod Podge is all dry and I'm ready for resin. I mix up about 40 milliliters of resin for each Christmas tree. That is plenty of resin that secures the glass. It drips down in between the pieces of glass and it sticks right to the wood. So 40 milliliters, and there's Mr. Nosy. 40 milliliters is the perfect amount. And I'm using I'm not using a fast set. I'm using the Let's Resin casting resin for this, and I'll have a link in the description below. So when I put the resin on, I always start at the edge and work my way around. That way I always know that I haven't missed anything. Once the resin's cured, I'm able to flip them over, shake off the loose glass, which is not much, and then I add a sawtooth hanger to the top so that customers can either hang them or use them as shelf sitters. I add the batteries, test out the lights, which I should have done before, and fortunately they all work. And here is where you can really see the little cavity that's created by the battery pack and then the piece of wood at the top. The wires are nice and contained and it's secure. And now I'm just adding the trunks, the stars, the ornaments, however way you want to decorate them. Just have fun with it, go to town. And that is pretty much it in a nutshell, how I add lights to crushed glass Christmas trees. Make it a crafty day, friends. Bye.